Hi there, if you've just joined me. I'm not going to be doing a lot of explaining on what I'm doing. I'm not going to much talking because you can. So what I'm going to be doing is creating some sort of a tiles and more detailed wall to replace the one that I've got. Because in my game, it's the walls are kind of basic. I really need to bring them up a bit. So it's just kind of coming up with a design that's going to work really. Sometimes I doodle them in 3D, other times I just go for it. Or I just want to kind of see what Google Images has for us. Most of these are really, really basic. You'll get an idea of some atmosphere. Most of this is just complete uncomplete, you know. Let's see. Let's try and get an idea really. There's curtains and things that I can add to them. I can add those later. Claustrophobia is an important part. Right, okay, I've got some ideas now. Now, I'm going to work in the standard 200 units that I tend to work in Unreal Engine. So if I just turn on my snap to, that brings up my box in Max. If you're not using Max, good for you, because it's a piece of junk. Right, not my one, my Max is lovely. Great. Okay, so I just drag that out to a random size, and then give it a width of 200. 200. There we go. And that overall width of 200 means that I can bring parts out if I need to and so on. Okay, so this will become our wall. I'll call it Wall 01 just in case I decide to make any modifications and or changes to it. Things on the chair. But, my apologies. Now, while I'm looking at this wall, which I'm now converting to a poly, not got any windows coming in on this corridor. It's all going to be kind of solid wallways. So let's see what I can do with this. The wall's probably going to be separated into two parts. So if we have tiles at the bottom, kind of some sort of a wooden thing just there, and then not wood at the top, maybe plaster, and we can have some sort of ornate bits kind of covering over the top of that. It's just how much can we do textures, you know? How much can we do as textures? But so swift loop, take that down to about the half mark just here, and to there. Okay, shush dog. Come in here. I really hate this idea a lot. Shut up, silly dog. What I'll do is try something else instead. Now, fortunately, I already have several good pieces I can use as a basis for this. So I think what I'll do is take this polygon here and just detach it for a moment. Okay, and then I can't really tessellate this top polygon, can I? Yeah, I can. Okay, that's useful. So I've tessellated it to a right old amount, that being several 100,000 polygons. And I'm going to go and get my assets out from my game dev file. There they are. And I want my textures. And this will allow me to see what I can find. I probably want some walls. These are ones I've got from what's it called again? GameTextures.com. Right, so these are all our walls. I'm just going to have to use my viewer. And that'll show me what they are, because I don't have a native viewer for these kind of textures without this. Right, let's see. Wood, Short Wallpaper Pro. It's okay, but it's not great. Cracked Plaster Premium. Those are quite nice. Those are quite nice. Just need a quick copy of this. Keep the damage shift in max, not alt. And drag that across to there so I can see what it looks like. It's not bad, although it could be somewhat lower, kind of down here on this part. I think if I just assigned that to the lower part, that could have worked better. Some options to come up with that. What it is, not half. Just tessellate this a bit. So I've only got half of it tessellated now. So what I'm going to do is kind of carefully put things together. So I'm going to take that bit, just then detach it. So it's a separate object. There we go. Yeah, now if I tessellate that, like so, and then just drag that across to that bit. Now then, I need to remap that, so I'll unwrap to the UVW map and just plane out that one. It's on its side. I'll just apply an unwrap. It should just be a massive polygon anyway, so again, change this to the wood one. Oh, right, we'll find the right one, and then probably rotate it by the looks of things. Just open up my gizmo. That doesn't look right, does it? That looks more correct. Yeah, okay, so I guess it's that shape. Did mention how a lot of this would make slowly dicking around the max. And turn this monitor back on. I don't know why my monitor has a 3-hour cutoff. I've never found out how to turn it off. It's like 3 hours later, it's like, see you, Chris. Okay, so with all these lovely things here, now I can convert to editable poly, and then maybe tessellate it a bit more. Should let me, yeah, there we go. Current needs displace on it. And should be an option down here to use my existing mapping. And I'm just going to bring across. I should have a height map. Let's have a look. A lot of these do include height maps. There we are. I just should be able to do that. There we go. Now give me this. As you can see, it's pushing out the shape quite a lot. Don't want any decay particularly. It's nice that. Now then, if I then take this piece, this editable polygon, right click, hit maximum or 2, there to editable poly, and then I want to go to Pro Optimize. Click in it. I've got a little dog. Takes a moment or two depending on how many polys we have. We've got 500,000 here, for goodness sakes. So I'll take it down to 10. You can see that we still have a lot of polygons here. That's 52,000 faces. 5, 26,000, 2, 1. Shut up, dog. There we go. I'm going to have to just back it out of this. Ooh, Mr. Postman here. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, so we have now this simplified mesh. And now I should be able to remap to it. So I'll just go to Unwrap, WW, click Fit, find it. There we go, and that fits this to it. So our kind of wood pattern, which is now wood relief. Okay, and I can then convert that down to an editable polygon. So, and I just bring this forward. Order. Bring that forward like so and start tidying it up in places. We would have a few bits that are probably going to need slightly more attention than others. I'll just isolate this for a moment. Have a look around the edge. Actually, it's not too awful. Now, depending on whether or not I want to put a back on this, I I'm not sure if I do. I might just have it just so that it kind of slots on. Like I say, I do enjoy it modular. There we go. The good thing about this is that then I can just map it onto the other piece. And they should just marry together. And that's that kind of ornate woodwork there. And then at the top, perhaps some nice tiles. So let's unisolate all of this. Now I can move it back to there. And what we can do, so you can see that kind of we can make two of these fellows. Just drag the second one across. Like that. Okay, so now we're going to look at these two parts at the bottom here. And I'll just do a quick save just in case, and I'll call this work. There we go. Now I need some nice tile, so I can go back to my XM view, and got all sorts of nice things I can have a look through here. I mean, these are nice. These wall ornate, actually, those are really quite nice. Two lines about those. I've also got some marble inset squares down there, those are nice. Some damaged plaster work. Let's see what we can find. Normally I like to go for some nice broken tiles if I can. But I've got those on the floor upstairs, so I don't really want to share them too much. That's a kind of fantasy floor I don't really want. That's quite nice to kind of continue my Aztec theme, really. I might be able to get that to work. Let's have a look. So, again, if we're going for the kind of half-size parts, makes things a little bit easier for me. But I then select this half here and detach. We'll call it all I want command. Now what I can do is just drag across this diffuse. So it's like a bit of tiler, which is cool. Okay, and I'm going to tessellate this. So just 5 tessellations should be enough. And then I'm going to apply a unwrap because it hasn't got one. Just find the correct channels, always forget which one it is. There we go. And then on top of this I'll put a displace. And I'm going to use the existing again. And then just drag this across into the bitmap. I'll just see if there's a height first. And there is. Wonderful. Give ourselves a nice strength of 2 perhaps. Okay, that works quite nicely. Back to where it was. There we go. So you can see all the various kind of breaks and things that he's put into it to make the shape right. Okay, so now what I can do is apply Pro Optimization. Populate. And at the minute it's 131, so if I take that to 10, that's 13,000. If I take that to 5, it's 6,000. As long as it's keeping the shape right, that's okay. Because what I'll then do is unwrap it again. So apply UVW map again. Click fit. Do that. And there we go. Now the problem is that we have a lot of repeats going on in this geometry. So I'll take this part here, I think, and let's get rid of these pieces. I do love Shift Select. There we go. Now, what I can do here is just shuffle this fella along. And they've all got the same pivot, which kind of helps, but I'll move them all down to 0, 0 shortly. Give it a grid. There we go. So what we want is something basically that we can kind of put over these. Sort of a wooden kind of thing. So I'll have a look and see what we can do. Let's see. Wolf shingles or mine tunnels, dirty mattresses. I might just go with these shapes actually. I just need something to kind of cover the regularity of that hole a little bit. Okay. I might just use geometry. Okay, so let's see how we can do with this thing. So we've got 4 pieces stand straight out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I take these 4 bits, probably build a border on this one, so I'll get rid of that. And convert to STP poly. There we go. So now we have these kind of panels, you see, that we can drop into place. And I'll just pop one there. And that gives us this, which is not a bad little piece of busy geometry, really. If I want a nice detailed piece of wall, this will certainly be assemblable as such, or I can use these smaller bits, the individual parts of the wall as well, so that's going to be helpful. Okay, now, what I'm going to do is start moving all their pivot points. So, I only need these 2, really. I'll take this one and this one. And effect pivot only, send to object. And then I can move this to 0, 0. Z at 50, because it's no use where it is. And then effect pivot 0, and that'll be the right position. Now, this one. I'll move that pivot, I'll take this. But only send to object, and I'm going to align this one to that one. I select both these and effect pivot only. I'll take both the pivots down to 0. Like so. Okay, now I want to scale these both up a bit. So if I go to my scale tool and 200, and here 200, just make them both a bit bigger. Convert to decimal poly. Right, and now I shall export these. So I shall take the first one, which is my, what is this one? Oh, 1/8 wooden balls. And go to File, Export, Export selected. And I've taken my assets, put it in walls, new folder, walls. Okay, and inside here, I'm going to wooden ball. Okay. And this is ornate stone wool. Well, export. Selected. Ornate stone wool. Okay. Now, is there anything else I need to do in here? I'm thinking about it. No. Oh yeah, work out what materials I was using. That was the fella. So and I should be able to grab the material from this, which is wood cartoony siding dirty. Okay. The other one is stone carved rock. Okay. Okay, that should make things a little bit easier for me. I'm going to close Max and open it up. The Epic Games Engine thing. Woo. There we go. Got my library. Out of my game I'm working. Takes a minute or two to start. Press this down. Bye bye. It should be slowly loading in the background. There it goes, 45%. Dear me. Come on, load you bugger. Where's load? Still loading. Oh, there we go. Right. Yeah. Right, now I need to go to my test level. Okay, this is where I build things that I test on. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, let's see, I'll probably put it in the class there. New folder, call it Wars. More sensitive in there. And then I can just import my Filmbox file straight away. So that would be assets, I think, furniture, walls, port. on port wall. There. Right, so we should have that one. It's invisible from behind, so we put it back on it. And we've got its friend, ornate wooden wall. Okay, so we need polygon tie-outs in this, which is good. So let's see how the shader works on this. Oh, ignoring the tangent bases, which basically edges. So, go to save. New folder. It's easy to make a subtextures folder for this. And I'm going to grab it in my, what was it again? Oh yeah, wood cartoon siding dirty. So, find that. Yeah, it's the bottom, isn't it? Right, so let's try and work out which one it was. I want to go back to my browser again. Probably should have left Max open a little bit longer. It's not that. Each one of these things. Okay, well I'll take the wood stone carved rock here, so I'm going to need the specular, normal, height, glossiness, dirt, sorry, diffuse, dirt, that goes to that. Can't find doing that. Well, it wasn't dwarven, it wasn't floor, tiles. Oh, I do know it was telling me somewhere. Below the porthole. Oh, looks woody. That one. Cartoon siding dirty. I'm only going to use the 1K, so I'll have the albedo, the ambient, the diffuse, glossiness, height, normal, and specular. Down across. There we go. And then I've got the save more once they're in. Okay, so Control S will save everything. 0. Give it a moment for it to add these properly. If you don't do this, then you'll close your project and I'll not be there when you come back. Oh, okay. Right, that's that done. Okay, so now I'm going to make materials. So I'll just do that here as well. So add no material. This will be lower, wooden, or upper, put on the upper half, you know, so making these just a snap. I mean, I'm not doing anything mad complex. Could do, I'm not going to. So, let's see, wood, so I need this one. It's my albedo map. Albedo is a great look, I can just plug that into my base colour if I want to. Then I can get my ambient occlusion. Plug that into there. Leave my diffuse because I've got my albedo there, so instead I have to have my specular. So we get the highlight starting up here. And then I shall, oh no, that's my specular, that's my glossiness, my mistake. So I'll feed that into my roughness instead. Feed that into my specular. So I'm going to control my highlights slightly better. I'll feed that into my metallic as well, I think. This will be a nice shiny if I do that. I'll drop that. Now I'm going to touch my normal map. Like so. And now suddenly you get the shape. And I don't think I need to use my height. I just brought it in just in case I did. Save that off. Then I can just drag that to there. Okay, that's good. So not only do we have the geometry, obviously, you know, giving us parts that stick out, we also have our normal map doing it as well, which gives a lot more neatness to our model. Now, up here, I'm going to have this part, which is our time. So I'll just make an import of our, not an import, an add of our material. I forgot what I was doing there. This is a stone wall to open up. There we go, same multiply. So I should go to diffuse because there's an albedo this time. And then the glossiness, which I shall carefully pipe into the roughness. The normal, which I shall carefully pipe into the normal. Specular. And that should do it. Click save. Click save over here. And now if I just go to this one and just click and drag, you can see that that's now in there. Which means that we can now start assembling our wall, if that's what we want to do, using this kind of thing that we've constructed here. Now, if I just check the height of these parts, there should be, yeah, there we go. Which picks up the highlights nicely. So we can now combine the two. So if I take this one, and I know it's 200, so I can set my snap settings on this if I want. Again, so that gives us that tile. Now, pick this one up. I'm going to rotate it around. Again. And then I'm going to scale it to half its initial size. snap to. Like that. My shape, doesn't it? I can take this and go to scale up this small point there. Turn off snap for a moment to get in the right place. To compress it F on just to ensure that I do. Make sure we don't get nasty overlap. There we go. Now, if I set this back to on, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Because that gives us that, which is much more detailed than what everyone would agree. Then I can also put up my props and struts and find a suitable strut. It's quite nice. Then I can start using this to just embed things a bit. That. Like a camera. I can get a better idea of how it looks with the lights, isn't it? I like the glossiness, the stone, all the other good stuff. Do some additional prop work on this. Maybe let's see. Picture. So, get this one a bit. Floor placement is very important. Across to here. Some of these are just parts that I've bought. They come in very handy. The tavern pack on the Unreal Marketplace is very, very low detailed, but funny enough, it is incredibly useful if you use the individual little parts, even in their low detail, just to build high detail things from. So it's one of those go figure moments, really. To kind of hang things on the walls. So. Now if I just drop the overall background light a bit. which is there, I think. There it is. It's directional light. Its intensity. Right one. Yeah, it must be. It's the right one. I'm not sure what's going on with this. It's not coming. Got lighting on. Yeah. Oh, I see what it is. Yeah, silly as hell. This. See if I've got any others and see. Right. Skylight, sunlight. There. What's we got? Direct. Right. Oh, just those ones. Okay, so if I build, hopefully that will be slightly less bright. Washed out. Okay, I'm not going to play now. That's all. We'll need more light, so I'll bring that across. There, that's better. Another quick build. Might reduce the size of these to 6. Oh, they're up there, but they're not quite as intrusive. I'm going to go to 1.8 just to keep it at the same scale. Save, build. Okay. Recalculate our thingy and click play. That's better. And of course the thing about this is that we can use it basically on any kind of our scenery we want. Again, our shadows at the bottom, which is good, and our highlights and cracks and all that other lovely stuff. Working both as normals and as geometry. See how it looks from a bit of a distance. Not bad. Could probably do some more work on paintings, but such is life. They're not great paintings. They're certainly not fitting in with the theme I want. So I'll probably grab some picture frames and pictures later. But then, so what I'll do is make this into a reusable asset, I think. And that's slightly more complicated because I've already kind of built this one, so I'll break it down again. Just from link to unmake while I'm doing it. Okay, so this is the part we're working with. The idea is that with this I want to make a nice ornate looking kind of wall. Okay, we've got all our parts, we know it works, so what I can do is I can now go to adding in components to the actor. So if I go to my castle, if you remember, that's where I've got my walls. And firstly, what I need to do is go in here, because at the minute we don't have any default things set for it. We do have a collision, so that's good. I'll load up my ornate wooden wall and my stone wall. And my wooden wall, I'll apply that. Just hit save. With my stone wall, I should have another one. Save quickly and bring that across. Okay. So now these are both good to go. And drag out my ornate wooden wall just to here. Okay, and now I can construct things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag a second ornate wooden wall on top of the first one. So there's two here. Well, there would be, but it wasn't. There, so now I've got my second one, which I can rename if I need to. And I'm going to set my snap size to 50 and just drag it across. Okay, so that copies it to there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my ornate stone wall so I can make my middle layer. So drag it to here. And from this I can then bring it straight up like that and scale it. Now scale is independent on these, so a little bit wary in that if I scale this up, everything else will scale up. This is my root node, this is not. Okay, now I can also copy by doing an alt drag. As you see, it goes straight around. Now I'm going to take this and copy it to there, and then spin it round to 180 degrees, scale it, and also drag this there and make 3 more copies. And that is our basic wall done. Okay, now what I can do is start putting in my posts. If you recall, I had them down here in my wood struts, and I think it was wood square 2 that I was using. So if I grab this and just drag it to here, and I know the size I want is 4.2. 4. It was 4.2, I swear. Okay, so I can move that to there, and then make a copy of it to there, and just we don't have any nasty overlap that I don't want, and we don't, that's good. And because I don't want these two looking the same, I made it so that I can just rotate these like so. Okay, that's good. And I can also put a beam across the top of them too, just so we can see how that looks, shall we? Well, I don't know. I don't like it, so I'm not going to. Just drag my static mesh and delete it. Right, now, if you remember, I was looking at having some curtains and some pictures and stuff. So if I go back, in my case, I'm using the medieval tavern. So I shall use my decorations for walls. And let's see, so we have these heads here, various animals. Or this one, which is an elk skull, which is rather nice. So I'll put the bear head on first. And just move it to left, and then shrink that one down to 0.6. And I'm going to turn off my grid snap for the time being, so I can get them looking nice. Right, that was bear head. Next is boar head. Boar head needs to go down to about 0.8 or 0.7. Fits in. And then there's boar head 2. It's quite a nice piece because it's obviously in the middle here. I might keep it slightly larger. Just hang down like that. And then I want some pictures. So I'll move this one in first. Round about there. Maybe move this. Look forward. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Amount of space, I think maybe a little bit more that way. Okay, so now what we can do is hang things on walls if you want to as well. So we'll get our drapes, various tapestries, but I want these hanging reds. So take this one up to here. And bring it forward. Up past that to the ceiling height. That there. Okay, and then I'll do hanging red 6, just to add a bit of variation again. Good thing is these are blueprints as well, so these are utterly reusable. Because if you just have the same one over and over again, anyone's going to be able to see when this repeats. So, oh, it's the same one over and over and over again, because it will be. I'm not sure if we can have this in the back or not. Let's have a look. Come back there. It's supposed to be selected. Oh, where's it gone? Go away. I'll rehang it instead. At hanging red 04. Theory, I should be able to put this into the right there. So it hangs behind it. Now then we have a couple of variants then you see we could do. We could kind of take out or if you wanted to instead. I don't like the look of that. That doesn't work for me. Now the shields are quite good on this, but they're not as good as the ones that come in the environment, which is a free thing that comes with Unreal Engine. So let's see, War Spoils is the one. So let's take this out now. Instead add this. So can increase the cells off. That. I get my SWAD, which I shall balance up by 2 on the scale. Against the wall just until it starts to collide. Should be able to do that. And then that. Angle up 20 degrees, I think, or 50. Maybe 10 degrees. There we go, so that gives us that. And actually, I think I just need to be able to see what I'm doing here a bit better. I take bore head 1 and then bore head there as well. What I could do instead is have some more lamps. So I'll go back down here again to light sources. And here we are, candlestick on the wall. positioning is just right, otherwise it won't look good. Okay. Now then, this one's slightly more tricky because now I have to get the particles in place. So if I go to my particles and get my particle counter flow, I can now move this up here. Tell you what, it's a lot more useful having this inside the Unreal Engine, because I was complaining for a long time that I wanted this back, because this was more or less part of the what was it again, PDK, and my view was that this was always going to be, you know, good to have back again. There we go, that's one. Now I can just duplicate one down to there, and then over to there, like that. And now if I get these 4 items, what I can do is just shift and drag them straight up to there, like that. And then I want to add component, and I'm going to add light, spotlight. There we go. I need to set this up properly so it's facing the right direction. Technically our candles are going to be spots. Be careful as well because you don't want the ceiling to intrude. There we go. Now if I change this from unlit to lit, and then grab this part here, and I'm going to blueprint it. So it's going to go into my blueprints now, and I will call this an ornate or set 1. That way I can create additional variations of these. Okay, so we can have ornate wall 1, ornate wall 2, and so on and so on. And the good thing about this again is that if I just control S, see it here now, so I can just drag it out as a complete part. So, next to this, or next to this, or whatever. Like so. Play. Ornate walls kick in. Rather nicely, I thought. It's good, isn't it? Right then. Oh, goodness me. So here's some homework for you. I want you to create a wall asset, or set of wall assets, and then create a blueprint. And I would like you to make a room using this methodology. Alright? And then send it in so I can have a look at it. Right. Now, where is my thingies? Oh, utterly tired. Well, see you later.